Your gas cylinder might not come next month, and this time it may not even be the government's fault. India could be facing a serious LPG supply challenge right now, and most people have no idea why. Let me explain this in simple terms. India imports nearly 60% of its LPG from international markets. That means more than half of the cooking gas used in Indian homes comes from outside the country. And almost all of that imported LPG passes through one critical route in the Middle East called the Strait of Hormuz. The Strait of Hormuz is a very narrow waterway, but it is one of the most important energy routes in the world. Around 20% of the world's oil and gas supply moves through this single passage. Now, here is the problem. The region around this waterway has been facing rising military tensions and geopolitical conflicts. Whenever tensions increase in West Asia, shipping through the Strait of Hormuz becomes more risky. Ships slow down, insurance costs increase, and supply chains start getting disrupted. And when that happens, countries that depend heavily on imports start feeling the pressure. India is one of those countries. In fact, India can only produce about 40% of its LPG domestically. The rest has to be imported. So, if global supply chains slow down, it can affect both prices and availability. The impact is already being noticed in some places. Restaurants in cities like Bengaluru, Mumbai, and Kolkata are seeing rising cooking gas costs. Some kitchens are removing dishes from their menus, while others are increasing prices. Street vendors and small food businesses that depend on LPG are also starting to feel the pressure. Commercial LPG cylinders, the ones used by restaurants, hotels, and hostels, are usually the first to get affected when supply becomes tight. The government has stepped in with a clear priority: households first. More than 300 million Indian families rely on LPG for cooking every day. So the focus is to make sure domestic users continue to receive their cylinders without disruption. Refineries have been asked to maximize domestic production and increase output as much as possible. But the bigger concern remains: when a country depends heavily on imported energy, global conflicts thousands of kilometers away can suddenly affect everyday life at home. This is what energy dependency looks like during a crisis. So there is no reason to panic right now, but it is definitely something worth paying attention to.